What's up, everybody? Today, I thought I would touch on ego and what that is, why it's important to address it in that spiritual journey or any journey, really, especially in life, if you want to be able to up level and move through and up and progress in things. So, really, when people say, we are our own worst enemy, I'm my own worst enemy, that's not like the depth of who you are. That is ego. In a nutshell, essentially. That is ego when it's, you know, for me, pride and ego get blurred sometimes. And confidence. It's really easy. There's a lot of things that can tend to bump boundaries. But ego is like, I'm too good to try this thing or that thing, or wow, look at them. I'm doing way better than they are at this. That's ego. It's stoking that fire, that inside. It's like a shallow soul. Not even a soul, but it's that shallow part of you. Typically, that's quick to jump to decisions without a depth of thinking, forward or in the past. It's really just a snap judgment. Or I guess it could also be looked at as thinking from the past or future, being worried about things. What will people think? How could I do this? I don't have this planned out. Just that fear. I'm going to do this. That's your ego. I got it. I got it all figured out. If you can hear that obnoxious noise, there's a car nearby just wailing away. A lot of times, too, as an initiation, so and I'm not gang affiliated, haven't been, but in a lot of gangs or clubs or other things, those initiations are about death of ego. It's about leveling the playing field, bringing yourself down to that equal to others. So, whereas, it's the really it is like leveling the playing field. Without ego, we're all the same. But with ego, we feed and fuel and fan the flames of our own demise, really. That's what it is. And the more we learn, and it never goes away, but the more we learn to acknowledge it and know when we're speaking from a place of ego and not true self, the more manageable it is. And you're able to just recognize it, feel it, move through it, instead of it being you and controlling, and you speaking purely from a place of ego, and then in turn possibly making poor decisions and judgment or things you say or do, or even a lot of unconscious things. I mean, about 80 to 90%, 85 to 90% of everything we do is unconscious, subconscious patterns, beliefs, things we've been doing. And when we break free from that, we go into survival mode. That's why it's so scary. And change is uncomfortable. But ego, and death of ego, my hair's fucked up, is a huge part or a rung on the ladder of spiritual growth and self-growth, self-discovery. And that's one of the things I'm working on. And it can bump into other areas, but really, you typically, if you start to acknowledge and try to acknowledge it, meditate on it. Meditate on opening your true self, and when you have that feeling about stuff, that's when you're thinking from in here, in that higher place, whatever that is, and not, boom, ego, worldly thought. Well, everyone does this way. Well, blah, blah, blah. And it's so many mixes of things. As long as you can start to acknowledge it, and, you can meditate on it and open yourself up and sit and breathe through it, and in your meditations invite and ask, am I thinking about this situation or in general through ego, or how can I kill the ego? And there's a number of exercises and meditations. You can DM me or comment, if you want more on that. But right now, I just wanted to run through that and be like, yo, ego is huge. It's a killer of dreams. It's a killer of life, really, if you don't know it exists or don't believe that it influences and is innately part of you. It's huge. And when we bring ourselves down below 3% ego, we're thinking from pure soul and thought of that, from the higher consciousness and in alignment, really, when you feel in flow, right? When you're feeling great and you're feeling in the flow and things are going fucking sweet, you typically don't snap to ego decisions and thinking, oh, well, I don't need that, or I'm better than this, or, what are people going to think? You know what I mean? It's when you're in the flow, you feel great, head held high. And then there's those times, and I bounce between it all. I've got times where things are going really great in my life, and I just hit that low point, and I can't get out of it. But it's the consistency and knowing that you continue, and it's going to come, and it's also going to fucking go. And usually faster than you fear, it will be around for. It's usually gone. But not the case with everything. But anyways, ego. So also, ego can really influence so many different things of like, just it's that thought in the mind, the voice in your head telling you all these things that are fact. And it feels that way. It feels true. And like almost like it must be that way. When in reality, if something's eating away at you in your own mind, you can't stop, and something's bothering you, that's your ego trying to keep you comfortable and safe and really fueling, like I said before, the best term would be like your demise, just keeping you from the power that you do have, and you have it. So that's just my input on ego and a little bit about that, my interpretation and ways that you can eliminate its hold on you, per se, and manage is just throughout the day during tough situations or during decision making, other things, when you're feeling extreme moods, whether it's high, low, medium. Go inside yourself. Release a little bit of that tension. Let your shoulders down. And just ask yourself, am I thinking and living from a place of my ego or something else? And is this true to me or is this ego? And a lot of times it's going to be clearer than you expect it to be. But all right, I'll leave you guys with that. Trying to keep it short and sweet. Till next time, Daniel, chilling out Dan, realign mind. Peace.